thought it was, in film terms, they call it MacGuffin. I thought it was that. I thought didn't really exist. It was just a thing they talk about, but it was just a thing.
Yeah. So imagine like that shot, like you probably 6 times Champions League. You know this, right? That shot where the whole team is just gathered around, like lifting the Champions League up, and everyone's just like mad excited.
That's a physical trophy.
Yeah. Replace that massive Champions League trophy with something less, like smaller than the size of your hand, and put it in that picture, and that's what you've got.
Why? It's smaller than this cup. It's smaller than this cup.
It is.
It's
but
like
why would you? If that's like the achievement, that's the goal. Why would you?
Apparently, as well, the actual ashes that are inside. I used to think it was like a person's ashes, like some legendary cricketer or something. It's what you were saying, that either the wicket or the stumps, but it's basically a burned bit of wood that's inside this bit of wood, and it's just, I don't get it, man.
This is
a scientific question, but surely if it was like hundreds of years old, it would have whittled away by now. It's not the original urn, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand it. I don't get it. But you know the funny thing is, like have you guys heard of 2020 cricket? It's like it's like a faster type of. How is cricket faster? I'm baffled because, like, you know, there's the Indian Premier League are quite big on it, and I know it's big in South Africa as well. But 2020 cricket is like a faster cricket. But I'm thinking they still score the same, they still play with the same number of people. So how is it faster?
I think they have to finish it within a day.
Yep.
Is that
happened with most sports?
I know there's the one-day internationals, but is that separate from 2020? I don't know.
I think there's a certain amount of. It has to be finished by a certain time period. It's not 4 days. I think 2020 is a day. It's quite clear we're not
level of this
about cricket, and we do need to be educated. If you're listening, please
come
just
at us.
on your review section, on the reviews, in the commentary, enlighten us.
Please do.
We want to love it.
Yeah.
To a point. Get us on Twitter and Instagram.
You know what, exactly. Send me a YouTube clip of a very, very intense, exciting, action-riddled game. And
Ben Stokes.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. So yeah, if that's
maybe
he must be a good example.
I'm saying, look, anyone
if that's the thing that gets it hard, I don't know.
That what?
Anyone that decides to review this, episode, please forget that comment just there, but review it and.
Cricket.
You know what I mean? Show us a YouTube clip of a fast and intense game. We'll go from there. But on that note, let's move away.
What we are now going to do is, now that we've shown our obvious
lack of knowledge.
We are now going to play a little game. It's a little head-to-head. We've been given 2 minutes each by Mr. Crisp to put forward what we think is the ultimate pick-up sport. A sport that you can just play at the drop of a hat.
That's probably because we don't recognise, obviously talked about cricket is not that type of sport you can pick up.
That being said, though,
play.
As we were talking, I was thinking about the sort of the Caribbean kids growing up and the kids in India. They play on the streets, but football is more our thing anyway. Like, so that wouldn't be like. Yeah,
but I played in the Caribbean cricket, and it wasn't as easy as you think it is to play.
I never said it was easy.
It's not in the street. It's not easy. It's still got its rules, and you're still trying to work it out.
Yeah. Exactly. So, Mr. Chris provided us with a definition of what the ultimate pickup sport should be. It's something that is low cost, requires simple equipment, has simple rules, and can be played in most environments. The street, the home, on the estate, whatever. We've got 2 minutes to put forward our case. And after we've each had our turn, we'll discuss around the table. And a winner will be crowned.
Okay, cool. I'm ready for this. This one I came prepared. Okay.
So do you want to go first?
Okay, yeah. So with me, I'm a hardcore Nigerian, as any Nigerian will attest to. Our sport of choice, as always, is going to be table tennis. Because table tennis is such an easy game to pick up on. It's simple. And the funniest thing there, you don't even need, like, people always say, but you need a table tennis bat. You don't. I remember the first time I played table tennis, I used a a square piece of wood, and the only equipment that you actually need to have for table tennis is actually a table tennis ball. That is literally it. As long as you have that, you can play with anything. So you've seen it. It's an Olympic sport. I mean, say the best of the best play like they play in the Olympics, and they're standing like maybe 5 feet away from the table, and they're smacking it back and forth. And you've seen Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee play with nunchucks and everything. So at the end of the day, if they're playing with nunchucks, I can play with anything. I can use my hand even if I wanted to. I can use my mobile phone or my iPad. Not that I would, but you know what I'm saying. You can pick it up as long as you have a table and a piece of string that determines exactly how high the ball has to go over, or a net. But in Nigeria, it was a piece of string with things hanging off it, just to make sure you could tell. Like table tennis is the ultimate sport. It's a simple sport. You can either play to 11 or you can play to 21. You know how many serves you get, and it keeps going until there's a winner. You have to win by 2 points. It's a simple sport. It's so easy. Everyone can pick it up as long as you can stand and you have one arm. You can play table tennis, and everyone picks it up. So Nigerians, shout out to Nigerians again, because I love my people. We are the best, and we've always been the best, even though the Chinese will probably say they're not. That we're not. But hey, we've seen. I think we won a silver medal at the last Olympics, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Is table tennis Nigeria's national sport?
It should be. If it's not.
I had no idea there was this affinity with table tennis.
Yeah, Nigerians love it. Anyway, and I'm done.
Right, so the sport that I'm putting forward it's got to be football for me. When I was growing up, there wasn't a single child who didn't play football. Boys and girls, everyone played. There's just like so many memories of like when we played this kind of like 2-on-2 melee almost. It was like 2 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2, and we had one goal. And there was just the keeper in there on his own. So it was like, there was this one time where me and my partner were both like by the corner flag, or what was emulating a corner flag. It was just in the playground. And he rolled it to me and then just darted off into the box. And like I said, there's so many people and everyone's just hanging around in the box. There must have been about 20 or 30 people. And I just looked up, and he was a short guy as well. I looked up and I was like, I'm going to get him. I'm going to pick him up. He just made this darting run, and I just whipped it, got the perfect connection, bent it around everyone, just past out of the keeper's reach. It was like in that corridor, of uncertainty.
Yes.
Just got it in, and he nodded it in, and I was just like, yes. And both of us were pretty bad at football. So everyone was just standing there like, what the hell just happened? There's no way that should be happening. But yeah, so I think it's the same for kids all over the world. Like I know that Arsenal run initiatives with kids in Syria to get them playing football and to give them that hope. And I think that's something that maybe sport in general can do. But I think there is something like about football, and it's so like kids in London, all over the country, and everywhere.
The one thing about football is the one sport you actually don't need a football.
Exactly.
You just need a rolled up jumper.
I was going to say this. Like obviously everyone's got the jumpers for goalpost stories, and if we couldn't find a football, we'd use a tennis ball. In primary school, we would use like milkshake bottles, like Yazoo bottles, just kick it around and yeah, man, like it's the ultimate pickup sport. It's just the easiest thing to get out there and do.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that we could actually use football. I think you're cheating, by the way. Anyway.
But what? Oh, football's not a sport now. Okay. All right, time. We're being called time.
Cool.
Okay, so let's...
So you go on, or you...
So my ultimate pickup sport is... it's a form of tennis, so it kind of has the rules of tennis. And ultimately, I'm saying tennis is probably one of my ultimate pickup sport. But this is like a game within... You created around tennis. It's called patball. Do you remember patball? It's like an estate... version of tennis. So you mark out a space, and you mark out a space where you can keep the ball in, and you use your like a small tennis ball, but you play it with your hands. You don't need a racket.
Okay.
So the goal is you start off with one person serves, one person has to return it, and then unlike tennis where you're lobbing it over a net, you kind of have to keep it within the space.
Okay, right, yeah.
So you can do rallies, and it's based on you shoot it one that way, you shoot it that way.
Okay. So you can do lobs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you got to keep it going, and you like tennis, you set an amount of games you can play, whatever the rules are. So I remember playing it, and around my area, you get quite nice, and you think, I'm kind of like I've got bragging rights around my area.
Yeah.
But I remember there was this girl called Charlotte who
Oh, Charlotte.
So you kind of think like you're nice. I mean, she would come, and my thing is I used to like just dink it before somebody could get it, so the ball used to drop and they couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Carl coming with a tecker.
Yeah, I'd take her to it. But what she would do, like you think you're gonna dink it, and you get closer to the ball, kind of what would be the net. It's not a net, but you get closer to the ball. She would just whip it, and then it's over your head, and you're kind of having to run around, and she's just like just whip it into corners and sort of bend it in.
Okay, right, yeah.
So, yeah, so
that was-
but it got the adrenaline going, and you moved around, and it was like a workout.
Yeah.
Pat ball's a workout.
It's a workout.
Yeah.
Up and down. It's
Yeah, and it was simple. It's a tennis ball. Here's a wall. go and play.
Okay. Right. It's just like a racket ball, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it's a racket, like badminton, but it was like a cheap form of bat.
All right, cool. Damn,
Right, so we have table tennis, football, and
pat ball.
Should we say pat ball?
Pat
Should
ball.
we say tennis?
Pat ball.
Pat ball's tennis, but it's
Yeah. Okay, so
estate tennis.
estate tennis. I like that. Hood tennis.
Hood tennis.
I was actually thinking, Ken, when you were talking about table tennis, I think maybe I wasn't really analysing its pickup value, but I just found table tennis, every time I played it, the most impossible game.
Why?
I don't know. I can't do it. Every time I go to swing for it, I just miss it completely. There was one time.
Is that down to your hand and eye
coordination? Doesn't matter to say that's hand-eye coordination.
I'm quite good at tennis, though. I'm quite good at tennis and badminton. I just can't do table tennis.
Oh, wow.
At one time, I knocked the ball. I just hit when I actually made connection. I hit it out of a 2-story window, and I had to run downstairs and get it. There was no lift or nothing. I was like, what am I doing, man? Why am I even trying to play this game? I'm done with this game.
No, I love it. I love table tennis. Yeah, it's, you know what? It's not even that. Sometimes I started like I developed my special serve. So now I had a serve here. So when it actually comes into the other when the other person hits it, if they don't hit it properly, it goes flying into left field because the ball has a spin on it on the side. So and they actually developed this nice
Techers.
Ultimate techers.
What, so this is like some like Nigerian sauce?
Yeah, some Nigerian sauce, a little bit of pepper sauce on there, for the stew.
If we wanted to get good at tennis, could we go to you for some lessons?
Well, at tennis or table?
Sorry,
tables and
table tennis. So is this another one of your little hustles?
Yeah. It's not a hustle. I don't play for money. But there's no money out here. But if there was, I'd be on it. But look,
so if my office organised a tournament and go like, I need to get some special sauce.
Yeah. I'd come in and pretend to be a temporary worker for a day just so I could win the competition. I'm telling you, I would. But anybody wants to challenge me, come on, let's do this. I'll put £20 down right now. Come, let's go. Anyone, let's do it. But yeah, football. Look, at the end of the day, what you're saying about football? Football, yeah. The fact that obviously you have your Brazilians that play on the beach and they learn how to play, very, very differently. And you see them with the tricks and the kick-ups and the flicks and everything. Yeah, compared to other people from my friends that we used to play on the estate back in the day. So look, it isn't the ultimate pickup sport. Everyone plays.
I think the football's definitely out there because there's
exactly. It has to be like
there's the cage you can play.
Yeah, there's so many different
variants. 3-on-3 that became remember 3-on-3 became a major thing. And then there was scorpion football. There was all kinds of anyone.
I've in Brazil. I've seen volley football.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. So in the favelas, everyone's like, football is the ultimate. But as we said, it's not really something that you have to have a football to play.
Yeah,
so it's like,
you don't have to. It's the idea of a round thing. And
you can make football out of anything, essentially. And like when you get to the higher levels, and we're talking like me and Carl were talking earlier about all the complexities and the rules of like what football is becoming. Yeah. And yet you've still got that base level where you can just kick anything around the street, and that is football. So are we saying that football is the ultimate pickup sport then?
Probably.
Tennis, come on.
Your pat man, your pat ball.
Pat ball it's just like hood tennis, really.
Yeah, but it's got to the ball has to bounce. I think even in football, the ball doesn't need to bounce.
Yeah. But I mean,
think about it.
But it's just a basic rule. But the ball has to bounce.
Yeah, exactly. But
it's a basic rule.
In football, as long as the objective thing that we're kicking moves, it doesn't have to bounce. I played with cans.
And I think just on sheer numbers alone, like the amount of kids over the world that play football.
Yeah,
You know,
it has to.
It is just the easiest thing to.
Yeah, it's
to
the
get.
easiest thing. And that's why it's the most
obvious.
passionate sport. Yeah, it's
Okay.
obvious.
Okay.
Let's throw it out there. Let's throw it for people
yeah.
to
Let's-
in comments or reviews.
Yeah,
Just
let us know.
Yeah, because we can do more than a part one.
Yeah.
We can do a part two, part
Exactly,
three.
exactly.
And also, if we've missed something that you think might be the ultimate pickup sport, let us know in the comments.
Exactly.